Hope for student loan forgiveness drains as Biden scraps loan forgiveness plan.
A healthcare crisis affects union workers.
Trump to make appeal in court. Which case and why?
Canadian wildfires continue to burn. Air qualities in the United States greatly affected.
And the latest in entertainment you won't want to miss.
All this and more on UINDY TV.
Welcome, my name is Adriana Ojeda.
And I'm Luke Cooper. A fast-paced escape artist monkey has been captured after being on loose in Indianapolis for hours. IMPD first received a call about the primate last night, with calls coming in every few minutes about what seemed to be a monkey on the loose. There were several reports of injuries caused by Momo, but it has not been reported if the monkey bit anyone. A man who appears to be the Momo's owner wrote in a Facebook Lost and Found Pets group that the monkey had escaped through a fence about 2 hours earlier. After another sighting later Wednesday night and a third on Thursday morning, the monkey was captured. IMPD made a statement on social media saying, "Momo the monkey has been captured safely. That was more than enough monkey business for us."
Former English teacher and volleyball coach at Fisher's Christian Academy was arrested on Friday and is accused of sexual misconduct with a student, according to court's records. Fisher's police say 34-year-old Stephen Aon is facing 3 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor, 3 counts of child seduction, and 1 count of defamation of matter harmful to minors. Aon was terminated from the school on September 26, 3 days before his arrest, according to an email from Fisher's Christian Academy. That same day, the Fisher's Police Department received an anonymous tip that Aon behaved inappropriately with students.
A Washington County man has been arrested for possession of child pornography. 30-year-old Matthew Reed was arrested on 5 counts of possession of child pornography. Detectives with the Indiana State Police began an investigation in April of 2023 after receiving a cyber tip report that indicated that a specific account was possibly used to transmit child pornography images or video files. As a result of the investigation in search of Reed's home yesterday, troopers arrested Reed and transported him to the Washington County Jail without incident.
Another $9 billion in student loan debt is to be canceled by President Joe Biden. The additional relief is announced just a few days after the 3-year pause on payments ended, and the White House attempt to fix a, quote, broken student loan system. The $9 billion was distributed after an audit was done where 125,000 borrowers were helped using existing debt relief programs. After this additional relief, the White House says it has aided nearly 3.6 million borrowers by canceling $127 billion in debt since Biden took office in 2020. Coming up, healthcare workers going on strike and wildfires continue to strike the United States.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UINDY TV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll State High School football game. And I walk in this time thinking I know what's going on, thinking I know what's going to happen. And if I were to say that Lucas Oil lost any effect on you, just the pure vastness that it hits you when you walk in, I'd be wrong. And Jace put it perfectly. He walked in and said, wow, this is the dream. And it is, because the people that we look up to listen to a high school football game of the week on WICR HD3 UINDY Radio.
Former President Donald Trump has been in court for 3 days. Lawyers filed a notice to appeal last week's fraud ruling against him that involved his business dealings. He was accused of lying on financial statements to make his businesses seem more expensive than they actually were. Prosecutors asked him for $250 million. The judge ruled in their favor, saying that Trump and his defendants repeated fraud. The appeal was fully expected.
History was made on Tuesday as Kevin McCarthy was ousted as House Speaker. Never in the history of the United States has a Speaker of the House been ousted until Tuesday. Kevin McCarthy will go down as the shortest serving Speaker since 1875, and also as a Speaker it took 15 rounds of voting to elect. Even though McCarthy's situation is unique within itself, McCarthy was ousted by his own party. Far-right Republican caucus member Matt Gaetz initiated the vote to oust McCarthy after McCarthy worked on with Democrats on a bipartisan bill to avoid a government shutdown. All of the present Democrats, along with 8 Republicans, voted to oust McCarthy in a 216 to 210 vote. Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Sparks was part of the 8 Republicans to oust McCarthy. 7 members of the House were either absent or did not vote. Representative Patrick McHenry from North Carolina will serve as Speaker pro tempore until the House elects a Speaker.
In Florida, the hazy skies haven't been a result of the humidity recently. Instead, smoke from the Canadian wildfires has clouded the Sunshine State. Air quality across the Panhandle entered the moderate and unhealthy levels Tuesday afternoon. Smoky air from Canada significantly impacted the Panama City Beach area, where the poorest air quality was recorded at 156. Though this number is significant for Floridians, Indianapolis saw an air quality index of 264 at the end of June due to the same wildfires. If you want to check the air quality before you go outside, you could go to airnow.gov.
More than 75,000 unionized employees of Kaiser, one of the nation's largest not-for-profit health providers, are on strike. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
It has been 2 weeks so far since the United Auto Workers went on strike at the big 3 automakers, and thousands have already lost their jobs, but hundreds more are currently being let go. Just recently, GM has claimed that this strike has costed the company over $200 million, while Ford and Stellantis have not yet stated their losses. Even though the major loss in revenue for General Motors still remains financially strong due to the rise in car sales from 2022. Just in June alone, GM had over $23 billion of cash. On the other end of the spectrum, over 500 of the GM and Ford workers are losing their jobs, and some are right here in Indiana. GM stated yesterday that they will be letting go of 164 workers in Ohio and Indiana, specifically in stamping plants. Even with the major losses so far, the UAW is pushing its members to not back down from this strike. Coming up, we have Jake Lane with the latest sport update for Indianapolis news and MLB playoffs.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UINDY Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you, and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UINDY Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
Week 5 is here, and the Colts get some good news on the Jonathan Taylor front. Star running back Jonathan Taylor says he is 100% healthy and is on track to play this weekend against the Tennessee Titans amid injury and contract concerns. Taylor says, "If somebody wasn't committed, they wouldn't be here. I'm here." Fans across the league were concerned Taylor may sit out this season amid rumors of a fractured relationship between the Colts front office and Jonathan Taylor. However, after being declared fully healthy and good to go this weekend, Colts fans are fully behind their bell cow running back and are very excited for the game this Sunday. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. at Lucas Oil Stadium. Your Indianapolis Pacers are back in action this Sunday when they tip off their preseason game with their first exhibition coming up against the Memphis Grizzlies. This offseason was filled with buzz and optimism as the team acquired more young talent, headlined by trading for former Dayton Flyer and New York Knick Obi Toppin, who says, "Everybody's amazing here," Toppin said. "The front office, coaches, players, everybody's been welcoming. I want to learn and get better every single day. I've been loving every day." Fans feel Obi could be primed for a big fourth year in the league, and they have good data to back that up, as Obi has improved each year in the league. However, he did lose minutes last year due to the Knicks' rotation, and a new fresh start in Indianapolis is just what the young man needs with jump-out-the-gym athleticism. At this point in his career, the Pacers open their regular season October 25th against the Washington Wizards at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Phillies swept the Marlins. Now they take on the heavyweight best team in all of baseball, the Atlanta Braves, and the 6th-seeded Arizona Diamondbacks took down the 3-seed Milwaukee Brewers in the National League. On the other side of the bracket, the Texas Rangers get past the Rays and look on to the Baltimore Orioles in the ALDS. The Twins also got past the Blue Rays and saved the reigning World Series champs, the Houston Astros, waiting on them in the American League Divisional Series. Baseball fans have a lot to be excited for as October is just heating up. With baseball, they wait 8 long months and 162 games to get here. I still have my bet on the Braves-Astros World Series with the Braves coming out on top. Tonight, Justin Fields and his 0-4 Chicago Bears take on the 2-2 Washington Commanders at FedEx Field in D.C. The Amazon Prime football matchup kicks off at 8:15. The Chicago Bears have lost 14 straight games now, and their defense has given up 25+ in each of those games. Rumors have begun to swirl, and some speculate Chicago may move on from head coach Matt Eberflus if tonight's game concedes defeat tonight from the nation's capital. In the Bears' 104 years of existence, they've never fired a head coach mid-season and have only fired a head coach after 2 seasons one time. I'm in the minority, but I think the Bears win tonight 31-24. Up next, we have our weather update with Elijah Sutton.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UINDY TV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UINDY TV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The CIA is facing a lawsuit as a result of their actions after a trainee was sexually assaulted at the agency's headquarters last year. The woman's assailant was found guilty in the case of the assault. However, she says that the agency attempted to keep her from reporting the assault. The woman alleges that members of the agencies attempted to intimidate her prior to her attacker's trial. She also claims that the CIA also gave the defense team her personal messages prior to the trial. The CIA says that the agency wants to demonstrate it takes sexual assault and harassment seriously. However, they have made no comment on this case.
Now for a weather update with our meteorologist Elijah Sutton. Elijah, how's the weather looking this homecoming weekend?
But it is supposed to dry up around 1 a.m. So that's something really positive to look forward to for all you night shifters going to work in the middle of the night. However, we are looking at a low of 63 later tonight. But this weekend, we will finally be getting a dose of our fall weather. Starting with Friday, we'll have a high of 68 and a low of 45 with scattered showers throughout the day. On Saturday, we'll get mostly sunny days with a high of 57 and a low of 40. On Sunday, we'll get partly sunny, but should still be looking nice with a high of 58 and a low of 43. But we can look forward to Monday because it seems to be a sunny day and we should be able to see a high of 62 with a low of 43. Now, coming up after the break, we'll be having some news entertainment topics within the buzz. Stay tuned, guys.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UINDY Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you. And we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UINDY Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
Looking ahead into October, be ready to see Taylor Swift's debut in theaters alongside a pair of horror movies and a potential Oscar-winning film. October looks like a horror movie sandwich.
You have some experience with possession.
Yes, more than I'd like.
The Exorcist Believer gets October off to a scary start. The direct sequel to 1973's The Exorcist brings Ellen Burstyn back to her role as Chris McNeil. The first movie in a planned trilogy of films was originally slated to open October 13th, but was scared off by another movie and will now open Friday.
Welcome to the Eras Tour!
If the power of Taylor compels horror movies to change their opening dates, then expect theaters to be filled with Swifties on October 13th when Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour concert film, hits movie screens.
The Osage, their time is over. We got to take back control of our home.
Based on a true story, Killers of the Flower Moon stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro in Martin Scorsese's adaptation of the nonfiction book about the murders of wealthy Osage tribe members after oil is found on their land.
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy.
October began on a scary note and ends on another with Five Nights at Freddy's. Based on the popular video game, Freddy's stars the Hunger Games' Josh Hutcherson as an overnight security guard in a pizzeria with haunted animatronics. Not ordering pizza in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
October looks like a horror movie sandwich with a Taylor Swift, Robert De Niro, and Leonardo DiCaprio filling. So be sure you head into your nearest movie theater to give them all a watch.
Singer-songwriter and record producer Mariah Carey is going on a Christmas tour. The global superstar announced Monday on X, formerly known as Twitter, that she would be going on a 13-stop tour this winter time called Merry Christmas One and All Tour. Her tour starts on November 15th, with the first stop being in Highland, California, and will also make stops in Los Angeles, Montreal, Chicago, Boston, among other cities, before ending in New York City's Madison Square Garden on December 17th. The show will feature a collection of holiday classics, including Carey's record-breaking mega hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Tickets are available for pre-sale today, but general ticket sales begin tomorrow, October 6th. NBA legend Michael Jordan has been ranked in the top 400 wealthiest people in America. Jordan has become the first professional athlete to be ranked by Forbes magazine as one of America's 400 wealthiest people. Forbes listed him at number 379 based on his corporate partnership with Nike, Hands, and Gatorade, and several others, as well as after he had recently sold the Charlotte Hornets earlier this year. Jordan's net worth is at an estimated $3 billion according to the magazine. Jordan earned billionaire status in 2015 with help from having the most iconic sports shoe of all time. Speaking of Charlotte Hornets,
YouTuber Mr. Beast Snack Company Festivals partnered with the Charlotte Hornets. Jimmy Mr. Beast Donaldson, one of the biggest YouTubers in the world, has announced a new partnership via X with NBA Team Charlotte Hornets to become the official jersey patch partner for the 2023-2024 season. Mr. Beast has gained over 190 million subscribers on his main channel, where he posts videos of him doing challenges and giving away huge prizes to family, friends, and fans. In January of 2022, he launched Feastables, a brand of chocolate bars and cookies with different flavors, and added his own logo. Feastables has gained over $10 million in sales within the initial months of release.
up next, sad news for cookie lovers and a special appreciation towards teachers.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UINDY TV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll State High School football game. And I walk in this time thinking I know what's going on, thinking I know what's going to happen. And if I were to say that Lucas Oil lost any effect on you, just the pure vastness that it hits you when you walk in, I'd be wrong. And Jace put it perfectly. He walked in and said, wow, this is the dream. And it is, because the people that we look up to listen to a high school football game of the week on WICR HD3 UINDY Radio.
SAG-AFTRA and studios will resume negotiations on Friday as a positive sign for the Hollywood writers' strike. SAG-AFTRA announced in a new joint statement with the Alliance of Motion Picture Television Producers, which bargains on behalf of the studios and streamers, on Wednesday that talks would proceed Friday as well as resume on Monday. The joint statement and the continuation of negotiations will likely be read as a positive sign as the 2023 actors' strike stretches on. SAG-AFTRA put out a statement on X addressing their fellow members, saying, "We have concluded today's bargaining and will resume talks on Friday, October 6th. The parties will be working internally over the weekend, resuming Monday, October 9th.
Today is World Teachers Day, and it's time to celebrate your favorite teacher. Since 1994, World Teachers Day has been celebrated annually every October 5th. It is a day to celebrate that teacher or teachers that impacted your life as a kid. Teachers across the globe are celebrated today for changing education and inspiring individuals. Teachers play a huge role in the world, and this day is aimed to bring that to light. This day is also used to show the support that is needed from teachers. There has been a drastic teacher shortage in the past years.
Coming after the break, we have more on pandas and Girl Scouts on UINDY TV.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UINDY Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you. And we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UINDY Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UINDY TV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll State High School football game. And I walk in this time thinking I know what's going on, thinking I know what's going to happen. And if I were to say that Lucas Oil lost any effect on you, just the pure vastness that it hits you when you walk in, I'd be wrong. And Jace put it perfectly. He walked in and said, wow, this is the dream. And it is, because the people that we look up to listen to a high school football game of the week on WICR HD3 UINDY Radio.
If you want to see giant pandas in the U.S., you're running out of time. China is winding down its loans of the endangered animals to U.S. facilities. The National Zoo in Washington says it's returning its 3 in December. The pandas who delighted visitors at the San Diego and Memphis zoos are already gone. Soon, Zoo Atlanta will have the last giant pandas in the U.S. It says these twins will return to China early next year, and their parents will follow a short while later.
Sad news if you love Girl Scout cookies. A popular flavor will not be returning next year. Girl Scout officials have announced that Raspberry Rally will not be sold when its cookies start selling in January. The Rallies were introduced last year as an iconic sister cookie to the iconic mints. They were the first cookies to be sold exclusively online, and it led to a shopping frenzy. Some chapters reported that they sold out of the cookies in less than a day. In a statement, the organization says that they are taking a pause on the rally so they can prioritize supplying their classic varieties.
So, Luke, what are you doing for homecoming?
I know I'm going to be staffing the football game, which I don't know if that's going to be on GLVC Sports Network or UINDY TV. Yeah, GLVC Sports Network. What are you doing for homecoming?
I'm going to be hanging out with my boyfriend and taking him to the football game.
They play William Jewell. So who do you expect to win this game?
Oh, definitely us, UINDY, for sure. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to tune in to UINDY TV News next Thursday at 6 p.m.
And watch Good Morning Greyhounds live every Tuesday at 8:30.